Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You unlock this door with the...
Oh man,
Hello.
it is good to be her. What up, YouTube? Welcome to episode or issue 166 of Two Fat Guys Pool List, your ultimate comic book show here on YouTube. It's the best. You don't watch anybody else. There's just if you're looking for comics, come here to watch Two Fat Guys Pool List. Everybody else is trash. I'm kidding. That's not
Trash.
No, everybody's great, and we're positive, and we love everyone. Anyway, welcome to episode 166, and we've got a pretty awesome show this week. There were some amazing books, and I'm ready to talk about them. But before we can talk about them, I'm going to talk about our show sponsors. First up, we got Collected Comics and Games here in the DFW area. That is me and Nate's LCS. That is where we get our comics. That's where we get our trading cards. That's where we get our statues. That's where we get our... Finish the sentence, Nate. What is the next thing that I say? Plushies. That's where we get our posters, where we get our D20 dice, everything. We get all of our nerdy stuff, all of our cool stuff at Collected Comics and Games. So if you're ever in the DFW area, make sure you hit up Collected Comics and Games. They have one in Irving, one in Hearst, and one in Fort Worth. Brent and Ron do a great job. They curate a lot of cool stuff, and the staff at Collected is an amazing group of people who will not steer you wrong. So again, if you're ever in the DFW area, hit up Collected Comics and Games and all the other comic book shops here in the area. There are some really good ones. But first, go to Collected Comics and Games. Also, we got to talk about our show's milestone giveaway. And that is when we hit 1,250 subscribers. When we hit that milestone, we will be giving away this Uncanny X-Men #1 9.8 CGC grade signed by Jim Chung. It's a crazy cool looking book. This is what we're giving away when we hit 1,250 subscribers. So please make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. And when we hit 2,000, just to kind of give you guys, just to remind you, even though you hear it every time we're on this channel, when we hit 2,000 subs, we're giving a big O slab, and that is a 9.8 CGC grade Thor #1 Nick Klein sketch variant signed by the one and only, the great one, Donnie Cates. Yep, you heard it. We are giving this bad boy away when we hit 2,000 subs. So please make sure to hit that sub button. All right, let's get into the week. And as we get into the week, let's get into chat. Chat, what up? John says, all right, comics time. Let's go. What up, John? Patty, it's been a wicked good week. Yes, it has. Got myself a deck to build this week. Hopefully we'll make real money that I can go buy some books and a windshield. Oh, what happened to your windshield? Spencer, hey all, first time commenter, a long time listener. Oh, thanks for coming. On the comic book Reddit, they dropped what might be new X-Men book line. Curious on your thoughts. X-Men by Gail Simmons and David Marquez. Alex and Young on Young X-Men. Al, or even you. Oh my geez. Jed McKay and Ryan Stegman. What? I'm confused. I can't hear you, Nate.
My bad.
There you go.
I was typing.
Okay.
The Cyclops is by Jed McKay and Ryan Stegman. Then Phoenix by Stephanie Phillips. And then Wolverine by Saladin Ahmed and Greg Capullo, and Mystique by Declan Shelby. I'm just going to go through the list really quickly and let you know what I think. X-Men by Gail Simone. Fuck yes. Sentinels by Alex Packnadell, couldn't care less. Young X by Eve Ewing, only care because of the writer. Cyclops by Jed McKay and Ryan Stegman, actually makes me want to cause physical harm to a human being because that is a god tier creative team on the most trash piece of shit character that's ever fucking existed.
Bravo,
that's
Marvel.
Disgusting. That's irritating. I've been trolled to heaven, back down to hell. I hate it.
And are you
Phoenix
going
by
to
Stephanie Phillips?
Wait, whoa.
Huge skip. Huge skip.
But you're not going to pick up the Cyclops book?
No way. No.
Peach Momoko. If there's a Peach Momoko cover.
Shut up. Wolverine by Saladin Ahmed and Greg Capullo is very compelling. Mystique by Declan Shelby also makes me mad because I don't want to read a Mystique book, but Declan Shelby I respect a lot. So, in conclusion, very angry because I wanted to read no X.
He was out. He was out.
Some of these X books sound pretty good.
So X-Men, yes. Sentinels,
Stop it.
Sentinels, I'll probably pick up issue 1, but it'll be a game time decision. What was the next one after that? Cyclops, yes. Phoenix, yes. Wolverine, yes. Mystique, game time decision, but probably yes. So yes, I'm in. Holden, howdy, received my package. Thank you very much. No problem, Holden. We got your slabs. We took care of you. Finally. Sorry about that. Nothing. I just need a windshield for my 48 Pontiac. I got everything else good to go, and also hope everyone had a great week. Also, you need to put a Two Fat Guys sticker on your Pontiac. So
do not do that. That is a classic, beautiful thing. Do not put my face on that.
John, I bet Nate is grabbing Cyclops for sure. I bet he'll do it like day of. He will.
I will genuinely say, like, you know how we like to be silly and you come up with a creative team on something I would hate. Yeah. That's exactly what this is, and like,
exactly. Look, man, you cannot it's Ryan Stegman, dude. Like, it's Ryan Stegman. Whenever there's a Ryan Stegman Marvel book, you have to pick it up.
How long is Ryan Stegman going to be doing interiors though? 5 issues?
know. I'm not saying that he's going to be here forever. I'm just saying when he's there, you acknowledge it by buying it. Anyway, the Saudi Prince money only comes when I do my own jobs like this. Need that cash for comics. I totally get that. All right, guys. Well, I'm glad everyone's here that is here watching us live, and I'm glad that everyone's here that is watching this as a past episode. We do appreciate you. And before we get the show started, make sure to hit that like button. We really need it. Let's get that algorithm up. Boost it. All right, we're going to kick off the show, and usually we would start with Marvel, but we're switching it up, man. We're going to start with Independence from now on, or at least for a little bit, until people are like, hey, go back to starting with Marvel. But we're going to start with the Independence. The show's getting kicked off with Boom Studios, Pine and Merrimack, issue number 3 from Kyle Starks. And just telling you now, I'm sorry, I forgot to pick this book up.
I forgot. Okay. Great issue.
Yeah, no, it was great. Yeah.
The best issue yet.
Okay.
It's definitely
two was a little iffy.
2 was a little iffy. 3 does everything that we wanted this book to do, which is story okay. I would say trope clarification and character expansion.
Okay.
So we get to see a background, like a in the past little scene about I don't remember the characters' names, but about the wife basically losing it as a detective. Like when it gets to the point where she can't handle it anymore, and they decide to move to the small town and do the thing. And just his response, especially, you can see like the hurt and the pain that she's kind of going through. I think it makes it more visceral, more real, and his like dedication to her. It just made these characters feel more real, more rounded.
Okay. All right.
Also, I finally understand the trope that we're going for here. And if anyone's ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, we're essentially doing that, but not necessarily with comedy, but drama. It's just, let's see like how degrading constantly the story can get, like how fucked up what's going on can get before we start to hit the obscure, and then that's when it becomes humorous. And we're there now.
Right there.
Got it. And what was there was one more point that I had.
So did we get into the representative or the congressman that's trying to be, the politician? Did we get into his shit?
He isn't highlighted specifically. However, they basically go to the meeting that he is present at, and it is a odd sex thing, but it is a full-on cult.
Okay.
And they go in there, and they're thinking it's just going to be a couple of people meeting for a weird sex thing, and that these girls are just going to be in cages. They'd be able to free them, create a distraction, and run. And when they go in there, there's like 150 men in there in these like clan-looking robes, except they're red, and they're basically like, "What the fuck? Like, how are we going to get out of here? There's all these people here."
Mhm.
And then they bring out one of the girls that's been kidnapped on stage, tie her to a crucifix, and slit her throat open. So this went from like weird but humorous because of the way they're handling it to like,
oh shit,
oh fuck, like,
yeah.
This is a big deal. So I don't know. It was just like, it was. I don't know. The story felt a lot more clear. The stakes felt higher.
Mhm.
But the thing that made me push this up a little bit higher too was that classic Stark's humor was here.
Okay.
So they are going into the sex club like right away, like right when they start seeing that there's more than a couple people there.
Yeah.
And the husband asks, "What do we do if they ask us to participate in the weird sex cult games?" And she says, "I don't know. I'll tell them I've been suddenly overcome with an explosive case of diarrhea. Diarrhea will get you out of any situation, and as easy as blind confidence will get you in." And he goes, "Okay. And if they ask me why I have to leave with you, I'll tell them it's my sex kink to watch people with diarrhea." And
That's
yeah,
good.
I mean that's like classic Stark shit.
Yeah.
I love a good poop joke in the middle of my sex cult.
Poop jokes are great. Poop jokes are awesome.
Yeah, but it was. I feel like it's finally found its footing. It's found its tone. It's found its voice. The art is amazing, and
Okay.
classic Kyle Stark's humor is there. So.
Well, like I said, I'm going down on vacation tomorrow, so maybe when I'm down where I'm at, I might pick this up over at one of the random
That's
shops that I
the
check out.
third or fourth time tonight that you use the phrase "going down" in a way that doesn't really.
No, see, that's just how you're just dirty. Like your brain is just dirty.
I'm not the one that said it, so.
Well, you
Sure.
know, that's just you immediately go to that, and I'm just because
Mhm.
I'm literally going down. Like if you were to look at a map, shut the fuck up. If you were to look at a map, I am traveling down the state to where I'm going. I'm not going up. I'm not going
Totally.
east. I'm not going west. I'm going down.
Got it. That's it. That's all I got for that one.
Next up, we've got The Devil That Wears My Face. Issue. Yeah, you're not off the hook yet. Issue number 5.
So there's going to be a back-to-back theme here, and I think this is the best issue yet. It's
All right.
really, really good. And honestly, this probably should be my pick of the week because,
Dude, again, I didn't read this book,
I know,
but there were, if we're being absolutely honest,
Mhm.
I know we're kind of breaking into your review, but there were 2 books this week that were absolute fire. Like, and we didn't ask the chat. Let us know in the chat what's your pick of the week, what's your fire book of the
please.
week. But we're just letting everyone know now, like as a preview, there were 2 books this week that were just far and above and beyond any book that came out this week, and it's because it just fired on all cylinders and it did everything right. That's all I gotta say. Sorry. So I get it. I understand. I understand why you're making the face that you usually make, like when you're on the toilet. Like you're just like, like I get it. I understand.
That is not my toilet face, but I cannot let you see my
Well,
toilet
it's
face.
like right to it. Right.
Yeah.
It's like leaning.
I'm just gonna go with my original gut, which is I gave another book a 5-star, and I gave this one 4.5. So I'm gonna
Okay.
go with my original. This isn't the pick of the week, but
Alright.
this it was so good, and it does
Mm-hmm.
all the things this book does well, which is like the body horror and the intricacies of like Catholic demonology.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff just really fascinates me. It's really interesting, and it does it well and intricate and still in a way that you can understand.
Right.
But like, it also is creepy. Like throughout this entire series so far, we're on issue 5 of 6. We're at our penultimate issue, and the demon has been winning every step of the way. It seems unrelenting. In the finale of this issue, the demon-possessed body is becoming the Pope. He murdered the Pope, and he's murdered all the cardinals that were against him, and he's literally going to become the Pope. I don't know. Like I like that. I like that the the devil's been winning this whole time. Now I'm sure that that's not going to be the case, but this was good, and the art is really good. It's perfect for like what the style is.
Right.
I genuinely don't think I read a scary, like a horror novel. I mean, comic series this good since Autumnal back in 21.
Okay.
Like this is going in my top 5 horror comics for sure.
Nice. All right. Dope.
Very good.
The secret word is swordfish. Anyway, I asked my LCS to add this book to my pool, and they are still not getting it. I have to order it online. I really want to read this book. Why? I wonder why. Did they give you a reason why they're not ordering it, or are they just not listening to you? Because it sounds like you need to get a new LCS. Like they don't respect you.
It's even an option.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let's keep moving. Next up, we've got from Image Comics, Void Rivals, issue number 7 from Robert Kirkman. The awesome world building of the Energon universe. And I liked it. It was a little bit more. I don't think the right word is meta, but it was just a little bit more in depth into our situation currently in Void Rivals, which is we've got this huge revelation that these two warring planets, or neighboring planets, have been in cahoots with one another for a while, and they've been tricking their societies into this control. Very subtext, but commentary, I think, on our current situation in this world. It kind of feels like it, but we essentially get an enforcer being unleashed to go find our two rogue pilots. And I will say, when we started getting into the jelly, into the thick of what was going on in this book, I was a little confused. I will say that the pacing of the book had me for a second going like, wait, what are we doing? But once you connected the dots, maybe that was done on purpose, and it was like, we're really going to lead you astray. And then once you realize who this character is and his current situation, once we basically put it out there for you, then you're like, oh, okay. Then I was like, all right, I'm on board. But there was initial hesitation when we started revealing who this character is on the cover, and his situation and who he is and what he is. It just felt a little disconnected, and I think that's pun intended, especially with what's going on with this character. But I think personally, I think it could have been done. I don't know if it was the paneling. I don't know if it was the lack of like.
It's not the paneling.
It's not the paneling, and really, it's not the lack of like past, present, because if you do that, it kind of kills it, right? Like, because as I'm saying it now, it would kill it, but at the same time, it didn't work. Like it didn't work.
It didn't, and I think I know why it didn't work.
Okay.
That's why I was going to quickly interject. In my review, when I first read this issue, what I put was, I said it was good, but it tries to do too much.
Okay.
This issue is every like 5 pages is trying to introduce a huge, important theme or character. And we are shoving in 5 issues worth of stuff, sometimes it feels like, into one issue. Things that should have been given more time. We get the introduction of Proximus. So the guy that's in, the guy that's on the cover here. Not only do we get the introduction of Proximus, but inside the introduction, we get this mysterious history that he has with Zalawak. And it's vague on purpose, but it's not vague in a mysterious way. It's vague in a like, wait, am I supposed to be keeping up with this? How does this tell me who this character is? And then we get more information about the Wastelands and how Darian has somehow been there before and has experience. Yeah. And also that was shown to us as a preview at the beginning of the book, but wasn't evident that it was a preview until he was mentioned. And the action sequence made me not understand what was happening there at all. Like he was like flipping, but I don't understand what happened or why.
Yep.
And then to top it all off, we get these characters that are introduced at the very end that are like these priestess-looking people that are shaping our character's future or whatever. That's too much for one issue.
The Bene Gesserit. That's like when I saw them at the end, it felt like the Bene Gesserit. Like I was like, oh look, we're doing Dune. Which hey, I'm cool with that. Like I'm not going to argue that, but it was incredibly mysterious and I think in a very off-putting way. So hopefully issue 8 will bounce back. Not that again, I did not enjoy it. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it again, and I said all of that, and I think it shows how good of an issue it is that I still give this like 3.5 stars after all that. It was still very enjoyable. I think one of the really big benefits was our art.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few juxtaposed pages that were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The double spread back to back of Darien being in the wastelands from the past, and then you flip it and it's the same exact background, but now the character's on the other side of the page. That transition of time, I mean, literally, that felt like a screen wipe that you would see in like Star Wars or something.
Right.
Like, it felt like a cinematic passage of time.
Mm-hmm.
And the same exact thing happened again with Proximus when he's bathed in red and it's just his face speaking his last words, and then the realization that he's in this tank and what he actually looked like is this fucked up face version of him.
Right.
That scene, that passage of time there, I just really liked it.
Bucket of bolts and flesh. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was good. It was fun. Yeah, it was dope. All right, heading on over to Marvel where we usually start, but now this is where we're at, and we've got the Avengers issue number 11 from McKay.
Really quick, I'm sorry, I should have told you this before. I did pick up an extra indie book. This is from Oni Press called Night People.
Okay.
So our local shop has a little shelf by the register for books that can't be sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, no, well, I wonder why. That cover looks just awful.
Oh, are you talking about the heads?
Stop it. Yeah, I'm good. Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I mean, I saw Severed Heads, and it's in the too adult for the comics general public, and I was just like, okay, it's fine, I'll buy it just because of that. And it's Oni Press. We don't read any Oni books, even though they've got some cancel drama with them.
Do they?
I thought I'd pick it up.
That.
Yeah, they got like bought out, and people's royalties got screwed up, and I don't know if that ever got.
Oh, okay.
This is written by the guy that does This Texas Blood and the Infill Games. So I was like, okay, this isn't like a no-name book here, and it was truly awful. If you saw this and were thinking about it, and because it seems like it's up your alley, is sex, violence, and comedy sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Do not pick this thing up. Like, it is. I feel like all the pages were done in order and given to Quentin Tarantino, and he's like, what'll make this better, man? If we tell it out of order. You ever seen the Pulp Fiction, man? Let's do that.
I thought you were gonna say foot pics or feet pics.
Oh god,
because he's all about that.
But like none of the characters are likable at all. It's bad. So there you go, Stefan. I'm glad I talked about it.
I thought when you said you were interrupting, you picked up a independent. I thought you were going to talk about The Last Mermaid, which I heard a lot of good things about. I didn't know.
I almost picked that up. You know why I didn't?
Too.
It's very awkward format is the reason why.
Yeah. Thank you, Nate, for taking one for the team.
Oh, see, this is why.
Yeah, you've done your work.
I
you did
do
your homework. Yeah, so I did it for you.
I'll do it for you guys.
All right, The Avengers, issue number 11 from McKay. A little bit of a in-between issue. Is it 1 or 2? I can't remember. I think it's
just the 1, I believe.
I'll just say this. I think McKay is setting up a mechanic here, right? Like we're setting up something that we can use, the Avengers can use later, but also be trapped into using with this plastic man guy that infiltrated through Jarvis's assistant. Can't speak. It was okay. It was an okay issue. I guess if you go in it with knowing that this is kind of a filler issue, then it's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's kind of silly, goofy, kind of, classic comics. But if you go into it, like if I don't think it was solicited this way, and if it wasn't, then great. But if it was, then Avengers is my pick of the week. Funny story.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It was fine. It was fine. But I guess I'm just ready for, like, we had some bangers in the past previous issues of just like, whoa, like we're moving some stuff, right? And so, like, I like that momentum, and I felt like this issue kind of slowed that down a little bit, even though it would appear that we are setting up key elements for the Avengers, whether it's going to be something that they use that helps them or something that's going to hinder them. It's obvious that's how we're doing. Is this going to be a tool that's going to be used in Blood Hunt? Probably, like, undoubtedly, and it'll be like, you'll read Blood Hunt, and then this mechanic of this plastic army man thing will be remembered. Like, it'll be used in Blood Hunt. Like, remember in issue 11 when, like, that's what'll happen. So it was fine. It was good. I just wasn't I wasn't blown away. And it felt like in my opinion, I felt like this issue kind of took the series a step back a little bit, because I think the cover and the idea that we were kind of told was going to happen in this book, to me, didn't flush out as much as I thought it would. And that's just me.
I loved this issue.
Okay.
I think it's one of the best yet. And I think this made me much more confident in the book.
Okay.
The reason why I loved this issue, well, there's a few, but one of the main reasons why I love this issue is it felt like all of the good parts of Bronze Age one-offs or one-shots, or the idea that we're not doing arcs, that we're just telling a long story, and each issue presents you with a problem and a solution within the one issue. And I feel like this is a really good way to do it in a modern comic book setting.
Okay.
I love Jarvis being involved, and like somehow this kind of plugs into letting I can't remember the base's name, but letting it be the new Jarvis essentially.
Yeah.
I really liked the character moments that we got. I liked the little bit of like the apology king bro thing between T'Challa and Thor. I don't know. I just like at one point Thor says, I don't know if it was Thor or somebody, but they were talking about what are we going to do about the Orcus issue. And someone says there's a certain appeal to firing the Ashen Combine at the Orcus Forge like a bullet. I think it was Black Panther that said it, actually, because they were like, "Hey, we've got these two problems. We don't know what to do with it." And one of the suggestions was like, literally, like, maybe we have to eliminate the Ashen Combine, and that's a big thing for Avengers to say. And then they were literally like, "Hey, how about we murder these people that need to die by murdering the other problem?" I just found that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I hear what you're saying, and I do agree with you, but I guess I'm just spoiled, and I like my things to just like connect, and I know that that's just not how it works. So most of the time, sometimes we get these long runs of connectivity, and then there's like the and I guess like I just wasn't expecting that, and so I guess that's why I said what I said.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm not jumping off the book or anything. It just felt. I just wanted there to be just a tad bit more connectivity, even though there was connectivity, just not in the way I wanted it. Quick question: has Captain Marvel been told about War Machine in prison? I'm a few issues behind in Iron Man. And I think it's odd. I haven't seen the moment where Carol is upset about her. I don't know if they're dating anymore, dude. Even though like it hasn't been addressed. Like it might be one of those like quiet retcons where it's just like we don't talk about that. Like
I think that's exactly what it is. I think that was something Kelly Thompson was using and enjoying. And then they told her, like, shut up.
Stop it.
Like, damn it. Okay.
Yeah, and that was like one of the best parts of the book.
I'm sure other writers who are using him have been like, hey, should we like put Carol on the page? And the editor's like, shh.
Don't do that. Yeah, no. It's like you like when you say it like that. Shh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do think that's the case.
But I need to get a button whenever it's Joe's pick of the week, and I was like, "That's Joe's pick of the week." All right, next up we got Miss Marvel: Mutant Menace, issue number 1, a continuation of Miss Marvel becoming an X-Men in the previous arc, and we're just continuing that. And I liked it. I thought it was fun. I think I'm just glad that we're still doing this story. We're still got this version of Kamala being with the X-Men, dealing with the double standard of still being a hero and having a life outside of the Orcus complete obliteration of X-Men, and her dealing with being an X-Men and having to be treated the same way when she's in her costume. I thought it was good. We're doing something. I don't know what it is, in the sense of like a mystery behind, Orcus is kind of starting to dissolve a little bit with the humans kind of going, or the AI going rogue on humans. Shocker. Like we didn't see that coming. So we're doing something in this book, and I'm intrigued. And this is going to be short and sweet, but I did like this book. I thought it was fun. Give me more Kamala. I think she deserves more. And I'm sure we will get more because she's, whether we like it or not, Miss Marvel is going to be a pillar within the MCU coming up here in the future. And I think the more we see her in the movies, the more we're going to get her in the comics, which I like, because there's been a constant conversation since whoever we got in and prior to us getting in, where we just, we want more Kamala, but we don't want just the basic Kamala. Oh, I'm a teenager in school, and they've been finally flushing out her character, and I think we just need more of it. So I enjoy that this is here. I'm loving the writing team, obviously, with the actress who played Kamala is still on the writing team. I think that's huge. And I love it. It was a great issue. It was great. Super chat from John. Strong week from Marvel, Avengers, She-Hulk, Weapons of X, Doctor Strange, Ultimate X-Men were all great. Yep, you're on point on the books that you have there that I read that you listed. Yep, amazing. They were great.
I officially regret not continuing Jed McKay's Doctor Strange at this new restart.
Yeah,
I officially regret it. I think I'm gonna have to do something about that.
Do some back reading on it. That'd be good. That'd be a worthy endeavor.
Especially because of everything coming together with Blood Hunt. And he's already using like other characters. Like he's using Brother Moon in Doctor Strange right now. Like he was just teaming up with him. And so
we made a boo-boo.
I regret it. I made a boo-boo.
John, I also like Spectacular Spider-Man. Lots of slice of life between Peter and Miles that Jim would like. Interesting. All right, well. We have a comic book
You used
show,
to claim
right?
to be a Spider-Man fan. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I know. Like what?
4 years ago, you used to be a Spider-Man fan.
I know, and then Nick Spencer just fucked me. Like he went down.
Well, and ever since then. But you don't even try like anything.
No, I'm.
Like, you haven't tried this one, right? And like that sounds great.
No, I know, I haven't. The only Spider-Man I'm doing right now is Hickman. That is the only Spider-Man I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
That also sounded weird. All right.
Joe, I think it's a niche character role again, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Thing?
I mean, white.
That's the gas. Pick of the week.
And I almost picked The Devil That Wears Your Face just so we'd have some variety, but
no,
I have to be honest, and this is the pick.
You have to let her cook. This is a fucking masterclass at how to write a comic book. Done deal.
Yes.
Like I don't care. Like come at me. I don't care. Come at me, bro. This was a masterclass. This was a phenomenal issue from Rainbow. I just, oh my god! Like it had everything. And I will say, I'm gonna say this part right now before we get into the deep part of the issue. So, Al Ewing right now in his Thor book, right, is like how deep and clever. And I'm not being sarcastic in the light side. So I'm not trying to be facetious at all. But what he's doing over there is like you're gonna have to dig.
How big brain can I make this?
Yeah, big brain. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like Rainbow went, I can go big brain here too and still make you feel like you completely understand what's going on.
Yeah.
To the point that we introduced a character that is from a while ago in Jack's days. And then at the end of the book, she goes, go do your research.
Yeah.
Go literally go into the dollar bins and go find this shit or go whatever you do. And what did I do? Immediately, I was like, oh God, I gotta know. And that to me speaks volumes of what Rainbow Rowell has achieved in this book and what she's doing in this book. She's got me caring. Who the fuck is Jack of Hearts? Right?
A character I care a lot about now and wish I knew all of his background.
Exactly. She has done an amazing job of getting new readers and probably old readers to engage with material that is 20, 30, however many years old. And you're going in and reading, you're like, oh my God, I just got to know. And she did it again in this book. Okay, so I got that part. Space car to go on a vacation next to the sun? Fuck yeah. The explanation of going to vacation in the sun and why they need to do it? Fuck yeah. The artwork in this book? Fuck yeah. This, everything. And then we've got this lover's quarrel because I did my research. I mean, like, it's pretty evident when Jack shows up at the bar at the end of the book and the girl's like, Jack, and I'm like, oh shit. Uh-oh. Right. We're in trouble. I can already tell, and I don't even know who this character is. And then you go do your research. Fuck, man. I'm sorry I'm cussing a lot, but this book was absolutely phenomenal. And then on top of that, right, like, great cover. Yes, an amazing cover. I came home from the comic book store. She-Hulk cover yet. I come home from the comic book store and Sarah, my wife, is like, so what, how would it go? I was like, oh yeah, comic books. And usually she'll like see what I got, and then she's like, oh, She-Hulk came out. I was like, yeah. And then she looked and she's like, wait, did like 4 different She-Hulks come out? I said, no, I just bought like all the covers. Like I bought all the covers. And how could I not? All these were great. I mean,
and you did it on the perfect issue too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was just a complete win in my book, but this was the best comic book this week, and it was really hard because there's another, for Nate, there are 3 books on this week. There's another book on this list that is incredibly close to it. But this, to me, was just, it moved the story forward. It made me love or hate, depending on what the character was, even more. Loving She-Hulk more, loving Jack more, loving seeing them just still learn and breathe within their relationship. I thought it was amazing. And then, the introduction of the, Ganymede, I guess is her name. Her whole thing, like you can see it from a mile away, right? Like, you're reading about this character and she's having this deep discussion with She-Hulk, and you're like, never once was like, why do I care? I was like, wait, well, but why? Why is this important? Why is this important? And then you get the drop, and then you go do your research, you go do a little bit of reading, and you're like, holy shit, this is awesome. This is so deep. And now, I'm going to say it, Nate. I'm saying it right here. Rambo needs to write a Jack of Hearts comic book.
That'd be cool. I'd like that.
Just saying, we need one.
He's never had his own ongoing. Most he's ever had is a 4-issue mini.
Let's go. He's
appeared in other people's comics.
I think it's time. I think it's totally time.
I think at this point we have to say that Rainbow Rowell is officially the character reviver of Marvel. Like, if you've got a character that you just are like, what do we do here? And I don't mean like pulling Ganymede out of your ass and making it work perfectly. That's insane. But I even mean like some characters that are like, just haven't been utilized in forever.
Well, her rogues gallery that she's having a fight club with, like,
yeah,
there are at least 2 or 3 characters in there that I've never heard of that I'm like, well, I'm gonna go I want to figure out about them.
Yeah, Joe says, I wonder why she isn't getting more work in Marvel. I would guess that she hasn't asked for more because this is not her job. No. She is a full-time novelist. Like, she's pumping out like at least 1 book a year, if not more.
Yeah.
That's, and she's like an international bestseller. Like 4 or 5 of her books have become movies. Like, this is literally what she does for fun.
Yeah.
And so that's probably why.
But she's kicking ass.
I would love for her to have as many books as Jed MacKay has right now. Like Josh Williamson. Let's cut books from Josh Williamson and give them all to her.
Rainbow. Yeah. Maybe it should be part of the X-Men reboot. I mean, oh man. Okay.
Hey, she wrote Runaways for years, so
I know. Yeah. Well, this book was fantastic. Oh, it's so good. Like, whenever if there's gonna be an omnibus version, like, I'm picking up both, like the cover A and the retail incentive, and I'm just putting them on my shelf over here. Like, that's just what it is.
All right. One final question on this She-Hulk.
Okay.
This is with all the run so far. This is the 21st issue.
Okay.
Is this the best issue of the 21?
All right, you just give me 1 second. I have to go through.
Okay, you look.
Well,
and
it's
push
it's
us
the
in.
best. It's the best. Yes, it's the best of this current sensational, and
No. I'm saying of Rainbow's run.
I know. The way it ended. Remember how like she had the date with the thief on the stolen spaceship, and like that was like.
Might be that one.
No, this is the best. This is the best issue. It is. It really is. I think that other issue that I just said is probably right up there. I think it's this one. It's the issue I just previously spoke about, and then the conclusion arc of her and Hellcat fighting the demons and Damien showing up and being like, "Oh, I'm just checking on you." Like that.
Right.
I mean, it's just gotten better and better and better. Like, and it was already amazing. And I will use this opportunity again to say, Rainbow, if you for some reason are watching our show for no good reason, please come on the show. We would love to interview you and just get your thoughts on this amazing comic book that you're writing. It's so fucking awesome.
Before we do that, we're gonna have to go read 38 issues. So
Of what, Runways? I'm down.
Runaways, yeah.
I will do that. I'm on vacation this week. Like, I have time.
Yeah, that was a 4-year run on Runaways that she had. So
Yeah.
Wouldn't
I would
it be
love
awesome
her on
if She
X-Men.
got a 4-year run on She.
Don't jinx it. Knock on that wood.
Well, I want more. I want more.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I want more. I'm picking up the
More.
trade for She-Hulk, but only 4 issues, though. Did something big happen in the first 4 issues? In this run? In the Sensational?
I mean, what do you mean by big? Like, we're not about like bombastic things in this book.
Not yet, anyway. I feel like it's coming. Well, yeah, the reason why I say that, and now we're diving in, it never goes well for Jen, right? She never gets the happy ending. Remember that would, you want to talk about an issue I loved. Remember the issue where she broke the fourth wall twice? She did it in one issue and then continued it in the next because she was so upset how things don't ever go her way. She was so upset that, no, I'm just the lawyer. I just smashed through walls. I never get to have the happy ending. I never get to have the relationship. And now we're here where we're at. But it almost feels inevitable that that's gonna happen at some point. And that's when shit's really gonna hit the fan, I think, for Jen. And I don't know if that's gonna be the turning point where she decides to go to the Avengers, or if she ends up pulling an actual banner and fucking dips out, you know, and just says fuck it all and leaves. Like, and to the fact that I can even say that, right? The fact that I'm even saying those things should tell you how badass this run is. You know what I mean? Like, for a fan of the book to generate those types of ideas, the only reason why I'm able to generate those types of ideas is because Rainbow's work, her writing is so good, and it just gets you excited about the future and where it could land and the potential, because she's a fucking wizard, bro. She's a wizard, bro.
I will say that the trade cutting off at issue 4 makes no sense. That's issue 4 is the first issue of the 2-issue Hellcat run.
Yeah.
And then issue 5 is the end of that exact story.
That's weird.
Why would you cut that in half? It makes no
It
sense.
doesn't make any sense. But yes, the Ladies' Night Out with Hellcat was amazing. It's a great book. Like, if you're not reading it, you are truly missing out. It's it's so good. And the covers are great. This is a great cover. All right. Oh man, the Ultimate X-Men issue number 1.
All right, I'm going to tell you, I almost wrote a huge review for this.
Okay.
Then I decided it's not worth the energy because I knew I was getting combative and I was getting upset. Because I read the other reviews and people just like, oh my god, this girl doesn't know how to write. She doesn't know English. And like, I just was like, I can't.
Well, no.
So
I say go for
just
it.
as a preface for the tone, this is what I wrote as my review. It's not often that a comic comes along that's a defining piece of the current pulse of the comic book world. This is totally that. If this comic isn't for you, that's fine, but you're not for me. And that's where that's
So,
I can't put any more into it.
I did what I shouldn't have done, which was I went on, Marvel posted on Instagram, or I can't remember where. I don't want to date myself and say Facebook. And they were showing previews to issue 2. And I would say 98% of the comments on the book were positive on issue 1. Love it. Love the direction. Love how it's not, it's not typical X-Men, typical, like, reminds me of manga. Shit. But then there was, again, if it's not for you, don't fucking read it. But also, if you're gonna read it, especially with Ultimates, right? With Ultimate X-Men, with Ultimate Spider-Man, and Ultimate Black Panther. Outside of Spider-Man, Black Panther and X-Men both have gotten comments of either it's too safe, nothing new is happening, or what the fuck is this? It's too new, or it does nothing to do with X-Men. And you're like, do you understand the concept of Ultimate? It's an alternate reality. It's different, but in some aspects, it's familiar. And Peach was given the opportunity to do something different. That is all she's been doing since she's been at Marvel, is something different, right? And I guess you can't get too frustrated with someone that's like, this doesn't make any sense, it's not X-Men. Okay, that's going to happen, right? Especially if it's someone who has never digested or consumed a Peach Momoko Marvel book. I can totally understand that. But when there's a person that is just shitting on it to shit on it and saying, like you said, Peach Momoko is not a good writer. She doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know what she's saying.
Yeah,
that
irritated me, but
I will die on that sword where you're saying you're irritated. I will die on that sword and defend her. I will defend her no matter what.
Right. But like,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. I've spoken for a while.
I was just gonna say, like, I think that's bullshit, and I think it gets really bullshit when people try to use basically what seems to me like a racist remark that, oh, she does, just because she doesn't know English, she can't write a good story. But when you truly lose me and I can't respect your opinion on criticism of this book, is when you say the art is terrible.
Yeah, fuck off.
You can say the art's not your style. You can say, I don't want this for my X book. This is experimental. This is too manga for my preference. You can say all those things. But if you're going to say this art is bad, I can't respect your opinion on art ever.
Yeah.
To me, that just kind of deletes. And I saw that. I saw that a lot on the reviews. And luckily I read the issue before I looked at reviews, which I usually. I'm not a
right. Explain to me before you go any further.
Yes.
How is this bad?
It's not.
How is that bad? And there was some creepy ass shit in this book. Like when we got to see the, whatever, the ghost or whatever's haunting our main character here, I was like, like it made me feel like I was reading it in bed, and I was like, I don't even feel safe under my covers, and that's a safe place for me. You know what I'm saying? But dude, like, I thought it was a great book, and I'm really excited. Hold on, I'm talking and trying to put this away at the same time. I'm really excited to see where Peach takes it. Obviously, when her Demon Days other book ended, and we were like, wait, when are we gonna get Peach? And this got announced. I'm like, well,
didn't realize it is. I didn't realize we were gonna get treated so well. And
it's a major player within the Ultimate reboot, right? I don't know. I thought it was great. It's obviously we're both very comfortable with this very different version of certain characters. We've already been down this road. We know the drill, right? And we love it. And I think, we don't usually praise publishing a lot on this channel, like Marvel publishing.
Not the big two.
But I will say it takes a lot of guts to say, no, Peach Momoko is going to take, we know everything that's going on with Ultimates. We understand the hype. We understand it. Once Hickman's Spider-Man came out, everyone's going to jump on an Ultimate books like it's like a fly on shit. Like it's just going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. And so we understand that that's happening. So what are we going to do? We're going to take one of the most abstract, beautiful artists who is the hot shit right now when it comes to this style and almost manga. I mean, it is manga-esque. And we're going to put her on the Ultimates X-Men book. Deal with it. And I think that's fucking awesome. Like, you don't see DC doing that right now. You just don't. You don't see them doing that. And I think that takes, I'm not going to say it takes a lot of guts, but I applaud it. I applaud the fact that they weren't like, you know what, we could take the easy road out. We could give this book to who was it that's on X-Men right now that we're like, oh shit, Ryan Stegman and what was the writer? Jed McKay. They could have totally done that, and it would have killed.
Mm-hmm.
But this to me shows the confidence that Marvel has in Peach Momoko and her original ideas. That speaks huge volumes.
Yeah. I also do want to reiterate, because I got a little too passionate there. I'm not saying there are not valid criticisms of the story of this book. Like,
Sure.
this is very experimental. This is very experimental. Marvel. Obviously, that's why we're giving it such amazing praise, because I think this is a worthwhile story. This is, I think the envelope should be pushed more in the big two, because
it's independent-esque.
How I mean, we can only tell the same superhero stories the same ways over and over and over again, and I think this is like a breath of fresh air. But Ultimate X-Men is supposed to be a breath of fresh air, and some people were hoping we would get more like, it's pretty much exactly what we've been doing but a little bit different, like we're getting in Spider-Man and Black Panther. And then when they got this and went, oh, this is worlds apart, no thank you, that's okay. I'm not mad at you for that. I'm not upset with you. I'm not saying that's not valid.
Let me jump in really quick right there. I think that's bullshit, in the sense that how many people when Black Panther came out were like, oh, seen this before, boring. Like, I saw so many reviews of that, right? They're not doing
don't know
anything.
That those are the same people, though.
They may not be, but and it's unfair that what I'm doing, but it was incredibly just stupid for people to go say that and then to turn around and go, God, this is fucking weird. I don't like it. It's not, where's my X-Men? Like, well, what do you want? You know, like, fucking, put your flag in the ground and stay there, right? Or shut the fuck up and just read the book if you want to. And if you don't, go away. Like, just go away.
Let us have our thing that we love so much.
That's all I'm saying. Like, I know that didn't expect that to happen. This is centimeters in pick of the week for me. Like, it's, I mean, I almost want to push the fucking button.
Can't push it. You've already pushed it.
What'd you say?
I mean, it's your show. You can do what you want.
That's my fucking show. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Don't put my name in here.
Oh, your name's there. I'm making it happen.
Well,
Lee, if you're watching, put this on our shelf as well, please.
They don't have any copies of this. What are you talking about? No,
I don't care. Second print, third print. Print out a copy. Like just print the cover out. Put it up there.
All right.
I
believe it's supposed to be an ongoing, Joe.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right. Well, we talked, so let's get into chat here.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'm gonna take it out.
Why? What happened?
You got two Xbox in a row that are gonna put me to sleep.
No, I'm gonna read chat.
Sorry.
Ultimate X-Men was a bummer for me. The story was wanting us to feel sad and due to the subject matter, but this world is so new. How can I feel anything yet? I'm sticking with it, but it has to connect. I get that. Glad to hear y'all liked it. I don't understand all the hate. I've seen this book. Yeah, it was intriguing, captivating, and a little bit creepy. Loved it. It was creepy. Like, itchy skin creepy. Like, I wasn't expecting that, which I loved. This book was good, different, but I'll buy a shit to you for sure. Beautiful is the word. There's a lot of visual symbolism involved in the storytelling of this book. People don't always pick up on that. Yeah, I totally get that. It's visually beautiful. I'll give it that. I'm glad that they're going with a subject that is sensitive about kids in school. Is this a mini or ongoing? It is an ongoing. Yeah, it'll be good. I think, Joe, definitely. I would recommend to stick with it. You do what you gotta do. I'm not gonna tell you otherwise, but I think it will. I think we will get a very satisfying payoff. We always have with Peach. It's always been this radical, new, different idea, and then when you get to the end, you're like, wow, this is amazing. So I'm telling you. Yeah. All right, Weapon X, super quick, or Weapon X-Men. Silly Goose Time, else kind of what if style story. Got all these different versions of Wolverine being pulled in by the Phoenix Force or Jean Grey Phoenix to stop a version of Onslaught who, instead of merged with Magneto and Charles, merged with a Phoenix version of Jean Grey and Magneto. So gets even weirder. So Onslaught is jumping multiverses, trying to gain power in order to destroy everything. And this version of the Phoenix has pulled together these Wolverines, these Logans, to stop it. And that's basically the gist of it. I thought it was fun. It's just a silly goose time. It's dumb and it's fun. I thought it was great. And yeah, there is a zombie version of Wolverine that they're constantly trying to make sure he doesn't eat anybody, which I thought was really cool. So like, there's just all these like almost Ocean 11-esque style problems that they're having throughout the book, while still trying to find Onslaught, who ends up being in one of these universes that they think is safe. Only because he like split his personality up into the entire universe, so they weren't able to catch it until the very last second. So pretty cool. And so he's on his way to destroying this version of the Phoenix, her homeworld. And so that's kind of where we're at. I loved it. I will say I wish the interiors were the cover artist. I think this book would shine even more if it was. There wasn't anything wrong with the artist in the interiors, but it would have been a 10 out of 10 for me personally if the art had been the same as what was on the cover. And that's been a constant complaint for me. Like I want there to be some connectivity, or at least same style. And but anyway, I loved it. I thought it was fun. Freaking loved Weapon X-Men. Zombie Wolverine and Beer Gut Wolverine need their own Marvel Legends figures. Agreed. Yo, is this Zombie Wolverine always been my favorite silly goose story? Just nonsense. That's what I was thinking. I can see by issue 5 or 6 we will have a new artist, but it will be all-time art shift because nobody can do Peach. Yep. Well, that's on Peach. Hell yeah, John. The Zombie Wolverine needs to be the same style as the Select series line. Yeah, that'd be dope. It's fun. I will be picking up issue 2, which is surprising because I didn't really have very high hopes for this book. So it's good. All right, our last X book of the night, and that is X-Men issue number 32 from Gary Jerry and Phil Noto. Phil Noto is back. He was back in the last issue, but I don't know if Noto was on the color on this time and wasn't on the last, or I don't know.
He only colors his stuff.
Well, the last issue he must have been rushed because this issue felt more genuine Phil Noto. Like it felt like a Phil Noto book, whereas the previous issue, it just something was off. Like it just didn't feel the same. His lines were there, but the color wasn't. Overall, it's fine. It was fine. Seeing Liliana and Kat, doing their thing was great. But again, I just feel like Gary Jerry has been given an impossible task. Hey, write the main X book, but you're just what you're gonna do is you're just going to snuff out and or finish up storylines really quickly because we really got to reboot this. Like Krakoa is done, my guy, and just get it done. And that's what this feels like. And it just sucks because I know Gary Jerry is working really hard at what he's doing. There's no way he's being disingenuous in his content. Like he cares about it and he wants to do the right thing. But I think Marvel has given him an incredibly impossible task of like trying to button Krakoa up in a fine, neat way, and you just can't do that. And that's not his fault. It's Jonathan Hickman's fault. And that's all I'll say about that. That's all I'll say about it.
That's all I'll say about it.
The issue was fine though. I thought it was fun to see Liliana like just. She's got these nanotechnology like robots in her blood canceling out her teleportation powers, and so she's got to get it out, and Polaris ends up showing up at the last second and using pulling it out of her bloodstream. Pretty cool. But again, she's in space. She's up in space throwing around a giant celestial head into Orcus satellites. Like, and when she shows up in the book, it's just so like forced. Did you read this, by the way?
No.
I thought you said you were going to.
I mean, I was going to try, but
it's just I'm sure I can already hear your metaphorical or if you had read it, eye roll. She just shows up and it feels incredibly out of character to where she was in the other Gary Jerry book where she was slinging the giant celestial head. She doesn't sound like the same character. So to me, it just kind of screams like, let's get this over with. And Gary's like, God damn it, fine. And he's trying to stay faithful to what's going on, but also I got to do this because it's my job, and if I don't, I'm not going to get paid. You know, it just kind of stinks. Like, it's unfortunate. So, do we know anything about the new X-Men reboot? All I know is that Greg Capullo's Wolverine. Well, we
yeah.
Joe, you weren't here earlier, but we had a long-time listener, first-time caller come in and ask us a question in the chat about the new X line, which has been announced, and there are some bangers. Dude.
I don't know if it's been announced or if that was just like a leak on like a
leak.
potential leak.
I see.
So yeah, Spencer told us. I'll run through it really quick with you, but Joe, go back and see what we said about him. X-Men by Gail Simone and David Marquez. Sentinels by Alex Packnadell. Young X by Eve Ewing. Cyclops by Jed McKay and Ryan Stegman.
Ooh!
Phoenix by Stephanie Phillips.
Hell yeah.
Wolverine by Saladin Ahmed and Greg Capullo.
Got it.
And Mystique by Declan Shout.
Yeah.
Lots of potential and lots of potential. Lots of potential for good books and lots of potential for the worst comic that's ever graced the planet Earth on any moment.
And Nate's gonna pick it up. That's the best part. And Nate will. What's gonna happen? This is what's gonna happen, Nate. You're like, I'm gonna pick it up. We'll do the new comic. I'm not gonna pick it up. And then as I'm getting ready to do the next book, you'll look at the covers and there'll be like this fucking phenomenal Peach Momoko cover, or it'll be either be Peach Momoko, or it'll be Daniel Warren Johnson, or it'll be your guy, Federici.
He is a DC exclusive, so it can't be him.
He'll write.
But if it was him, I would buy it.
Yeah, you would.
I wouldn't read it. I wouldn't dare read it.
Yeah, you would. You'd open it. You would open it. Did anyone read Thanos #4? I'm guessing that's the end of the end. Was a hint at going into Donny Cates' Thor storyline. I didn't. What up, Calvin? How are you? Well, now we got to talk because Calvin's here. Calvin. Well, tell Calvin what your next favorite X-Men book's going to be. Just go ahead and tell Calvin.
That's not my next favorite X-Men book, and I'm sure Calvin has already heard.
We'll tell him.
We're not going
Say
to
it.
I will not say it.
Do it.
You have no power.
A Jed McKay, Ryan Stegman Cyclops book that Nate will absolutely adore and love. It's going to be great. All right, let's jump over to DC. We're going to kick it off with Batman issue 145. Dark Prisons Part 1 from Chip Zdarsky and
Go ahead and shit on it.
What?
You go ahead and shit on it.
Why would I shit on it?
I don't know. It just feels like you would have shit on this episode. This issue.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not going to shit on it. I just I think we talked about it in New Comic Book Day where it just feels I can't wait. Calvin says I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, art phenomenal. What we're doing with Failsafe, I think, is really cool. But what we said in New Comic Book Day, I think, still applies here, which is this book, unfortunately, in my opinion, feels a little bit disconnected. Because we're even though the breadcrumbs and everything is lined up perfectly for us to understand what's going on in the book, and I do understand what's going on in the book. But it just feels very it just feels disconnected in my opinion.
Disconnected from what?
So, yeah. So we started the failsafe thing with Chip, and I fucking loved it, right? And then we did the time jump, right, where he got shot into the multiverse into this other place, loses a hand, whoop, and then we're back. And I think where I'm feeling disconnected is I don't know if I can explain it in words, but there's just something. It just feels foggy. And I'm not saying that about the story. I liked this issue. I thought the issue was cool, but the last 3 issues, right, which we got the explanation of the fact that the Joker was taught by Bruce's previous teachers, right? Mm-hmm. And what we saw in that issue, right? We went from past, present to future, and we were just jumping in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. That book felt so different than this book. Does that make sense? Like,
A little bit.
like it even felt like a different writer. Like that what we read 3 issues ago, the last 3 issues that we read felt like a DC Black Label dark and gritty and fucking awesome book. We jump over here to Batman, and this feels like what we were doing in the first issues of Chip Zdarsky's Batman, which I absolutely fucking loved. But the tonal shift between 144 and 145, they don't feel like they match, and that's my criticism. That's my only criticism. I thought this was awesome. I like what Failsafe is doing, which is trying to trick the Bat family into them thinking
if it's actually Bruce or not.
Yeah, and they don't know. They can't fucking figure it out. I think that's brilliant. I like that he's got the face, and he's like, I mean, it makes sense. It's awesome. But again, in my own brain, I'm getting in my own way. The last 3 issues just got me into this place of like I'm hurt. Like it felt like Batman was a hurt. It felt like he couldn't figure it out, and he wasn't going to figure it out. And I was just left in this place of like, damn, this is edgy. It's dark. Yeah. And then it's like back to this where Chip was shining, and it just felt like we went from like if it was like a volume dial, we went from like 11, and then we went to like 7. That. And I'm not saying intensity. I'm just like, that's just the metaphor I'm using in the sense of like shifting of numbers. And so like the tone itself to me didn't match. And like, I think the number one thing that I've been very critical this evening has been consistency in tone. You know who's not having that problem? Rainbow Rowell.
Yeah, but you know who's also not having that problem? Ram V. And you bailed.
I know I bailed. I know. Well, we're not talking about Ram V.
Okay, you're right. But what I'm saying is, I don't know that is. I mean, it's your.
Well, all I'm saying is like it took me a minute to get into that 3-issue arc, right? Yeah. Like issue 1, I was like, I don't know, and then issue 2, I was like, okay, I'm in, and then issue 3, I'm like, fuck, this is awesome, and it's like. It's almost like Chip was like, you want something fucking awesome? You want something super gritty and awesome? Here you go. And then it's like, zoop, I'm back over here. And it's not even intentional, right? Like, what we did over here, it's not like we jumped in time like we did previously in his run. It was just like a completely different thing. And then now we're over here, and it's like, it's obviously explaining what the circumstances is, right? But it just feels, it just feels different. I don't know. It just feels different. And I liked this book. I know it doesn't sound like I did, but I liked this book. I thought it was cool.
Well, I won't get into all that, but yeah, I think that a lot of the comments that I saw about this book is like, oh, we're still doing Failsafe, we're still doing There's whatever his name is. But like, it feels weird to me that people are like complaining about that if you're still on the book, because like that's what we're doing here. Yeah. Like like no one's reading She-Hulk and going, oh my god, Jack of Hearts again. Yeah. That's what we're doing here, right? Yeah. Yeah. And so like, even to a detriment or not, like there's gonna be a point in Avengers where we're talking about the people from this. I don't remember what those. I couldn't care less about those characters, but like we're gonna talk about them again, because that's what we're doing there in that Avengers run. And so like, I don't know. It seems weird to me. Like, I guess if it bothers you, it bothers you. But like, why would you still be reading 21 issues later when we've been doing Failsafe? Yeah, in some way. I love how much Chip has also tied in his other Batman work. Right. Some of the work he did in Urban Legends, and then what he did with First Night. I love that. I think that is very cool. Not only did we get the guy that's in here that did the brain fuckery with him and Joker, but we also got the French thief that was at the very beginning of that night run. And
so the
I
guy that
I love what he's doing.
The guy that showed at the end, was that wasn't the guy that got killed in the other issues, right? That's another teacher.
No, it seems like he got killed, but now we learn that he didn't.
He didn't. Okay, so it is him. Got it.
Yes, that is him.
So now he's
What is
gonna
his name? Daniel
he's gonna-
Captio.
So he's gonna teach Batman how to defeat his alter ego.
Yeah, maybe.
I think so. But I did like that the Bat family just like couldn't figure out, like they can't figure out if this is really Bruce or not. Like,
I mean, Damien straight up believed it. Like straight up.
Yeah,
Gave him a hug. It was like, father. I'm like, oh, fucking idiot. I also just hate Damien. So.
Yeah.
By the way, we don't have to show it, but I almost threw down 50 bones for the 1 in 50.
Well, no, now we gotta show it. Like you can't.
It is everyone. The deep cut people would know how much of a sucker I am for James Deco.
Fuck, that is like, awesome.
This is like an evil Batman on fucked up motorcycle.
That reminds me.
I don't even know what those are flying.
That reminds me of there were these toys back in the 90s, and there was also, it's like a rat that's riding a hot rod.
Okay.
Let me take this off first because I don't know what's gonna pop up. Let me rod cartoon. Yeah. Okay. This thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah, I can see it.
But there was like a toy line that did this kind of stuff too, which was pretty neat. But anyway, I dig that. Man, what a tattoo that would be, right? That'd be dope. There was a toy line though that did this kind of stuff. I don't remember the name of the toy line though, but that's what that reminds me of. Anyway, yeah, you're right. That's a dope cover. All right, let's talk about our last book of the night, and that is Birds of Prey, issue number 7 from Kelly Thompson. Overall, I'm with it. I'm sticking with it. This is one of the books that kind of disappointed me though a little bit, and that was because I felt like Kelly was just trying to fit a shit ton into this book that I feel could have been stretched out across multiple issues. We got this idea that the next little run here is going to be Babs trying to figure out why she's dying in multiple versions of reality. Dope. But I just felt like we were doing other things even though we weren't in this book, right? Like we're trying to figure it out, and they were trying to figure it out, but there were other things happening that somehow are connected to it, and I'm just confused. That's my criticism. Positive, love that we have a different artist with Pena, but we still have a... Hold on before you start shaking your head.
I'm not. I'm shaking my head.
I know you're not, but what I like is that I liked the attempt at that blurry, what we were getting in the where people were upset, like, is this a printing issue? It's like, no, it's an art style. I liked that was mimicked, and I think that's something that we talk about a lot on the show where, hey, try to just, because when there was that one issue break, that wasn't even mimicked, even though we had a different artist. Like, you can definitely blur the lines and kind of make it look faded. You can do that. And they tried that in this issue, and I kind of liked it. Like, I know it looks like I'm in the minority here in this two person party. But I liked it. Like, when we saw Big Barda training with Sin, I thought that looked really cool. I don't know. I'm kind of a fan. Obviously, I would love to have our original artist on it, but I liked what Pena did. I thought it was really cool.
I didn't. I thought it looked like trash.
Okay.
I thought it looked like someone took like a image that was like a little like kilobyte and then just blew it up, and it, like your grandma shows you that picture and it's like 5 pixels. And it's like,
okay,
but that's just personal opinion.
Yeah. Well, what'd you think about the issue though?
But I pretty much exactly what you said. It's good. Like, I think I like the bones of what Kelly Thompson is doing here. I really liked the incorporation of Vixen, who's a character I'm not familiar with, and I like getting to see her interact with the Birds of Prey and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, way too much dialogue for the amount of time, of plot movement. Like, we really did not get a ton of plot, but they fucking talked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
That's not something that we normally like. We love that stuff. It just kind of felt unnecessary, and I don't like saying that, so I'm not gonna say
right. But overall, I still I gave it 3.5 stars. Not like trash, and it's not like, oh, do I contemplate dropping the book? No, it's still good.
Yeah, let's see here. That rat on the hood, hot rod is green and done by a car auto body artist, I believe. Oh yeah. Question: which comic series are you excited most to return? Key mentioned Silver Coin, Public Domain, and Department of Truth. Public Domain.
That's the Chip Zdarsky one where the dad's the comic book artist and he loses his royalties or something.
Oh yeah.
He writes back.
Department of Truth for sure. One that I know hasn't been confirmed and probably won't, but I want it anyway. And I think we said this when you were talking about Chip going into the forest to return all of his books back to their glory. Would be Nice House on the Lake. Like, I know, like you said, that he hasn't mentioned it, but that one I just am dying for it.
Yeah. Oh, Tynan. You said
Tynan.
Chip, and I was like, wait, what?
I meant Tiny Onion.
Tynan. So my obvious number one is Super Silver. Like, not even close. Like, Silver Coin play. Silver Coin is one of my favorite books of all time.
Yep.
But I will say, I've been looking since you posted that, Joe, so I could kind of get an idea. So I have a few runner-ups too, few that I would like to highlight. So Silver Coin and Department of Truth, definitely the biggest ones. I really enjoyed Noctera, and right now that seems like it's been shelved for the foreseeable future. Yep. Snyder said we're coming back eventually, but we're just not in a hurry to get there.
Right.
But Noctera, I would love to see Noctera again. Another one is one that I know Jim will agree with. Crossover, Donny Cates crossover.
Yep.
I would love to see that get picked back up again. Like, it's really wanted that to be done. And then I have a super deep cut that will make Jim squeal, but it's absolutely totally something that we need to see more of. Ultra Mega. We need James Herron back and doing Ultra Mega. We need those $8 huge funky manga kaiju fighting shit. Like,
has he said anything? Has there been anything?
I have heard nothing.
We should just hit him up on Twitter. Like, literally do it right now. Like, tweet him. X him right now, right? Just ask him, like, when's that coming back, bro?
So yeah, there's a few highlights. Oh, I'm an idiot. And this one we know for sure is coming back. I got confirmation from Michael Dialanias on Twitter, but that's Wind.
Oh yeah, Wind. Yeah,
Wind is definitely coming back too.
I love that all of them are they're just independents. Like,
yeah, there's
Joe. I literally
filtered Marvel and DC away.
Joe, I was literally just about to say that Daniel Warren Jones paid a right bill. Like, I would fucking
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
this is
I'd
the
slab. That one.
This is the slab that sits next to me on my computer. Like, I look at this every day. So
I don't want to go get mine, but they're up there.
They're up there.
It sits next to my original one.
Shut the fuck up. All right. That's going to do it for episode/issue 166 of Two Fat Guys Pull Us. Thank you to everyone that watched live, and thank you to everyone that is watching this as a past episode. We greatly appreciate you, and we love that you are here with us, spending your time, your hard-earned time, to listen to us talk about stupid little comics. We love it. Be sure to catch us this Tuesday for a new comic book day video that is going to be a banger. There's some really good looking books coming this week, and it should be a good time this Tuesday. And then we'll see you guys live again this Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll talk about all these books and more. It's going to be a good time. Yeah. Thanks again, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. And as always, be kind to one another and read more comics. See you guys later. Outro. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Joe. That will be optioned. Yes, you're right, Johnny. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye. Thank you, John.